We are on the way to the Niangua River in Dallas County, Missouri. On the left, that's the Barclay Conservation Area. We are headed north, I guess, headed northerly on Marigold Drive, which is a gravel road. And we're actually not too far from the property. It has direct frontage on Marigold, and then it goes westerly all the way down to the Niangua River, where it has quite a bit of direct frontage on the Niangua River. Check all the maps to see how we got here. You can see that old kind of barn or shop or whatever on the left, part of an original homestead. That means we're getting close to the property. So we go, I believe, about another quarter mile on Marigold, and we'll see it on the left. Like I said, it does have direct frontage on Marigold, but the best access right now is to take the easement road down to that western part of the property, and we'll do that as well, but we'll stop up here on Marigold when we get to the property. Okay. I don't think the guys have these marked with signs yet, but I have the MapRight app open on my iPad, and that's super helpful when you're coming out here. Okay, now the property is fully surveyed, and we should see a survey marker, and there it is on the left there by the big oak trees. So this is the start of the road frontage right there. And like I said, it does have direct frontage on Marigold. I'm not sure how much. Look at the maps to see that. But I'll pull over here. There. We are directly on the property. So looking north on Marigold, we're standing on the actual property. We've got an older fence here. You're free to cut that. There's a road easement on this, what would this be? The eastern 50 feet. We've got Marigold, and then there's a 50-foot road easement, and that crosses all of these tracks. And that's for a road that's not in place yet, but could be opened up at some point, so it's something to keep in mind. As you'll see in a minute, we'll drive north a few hundred feet and cut through a gate, and that's the easement road that'll take us down to the other side of the property, which is pretty convenient. But look at the maps to see how the easements lie. At some point, it might be convenient if you have this, if and when this roadway here is opened up, you could potentially, if you didn't want to do a driveway, hop in up at the gate and cruise south right to this east part of your property. Actually, there's some pretty nice timber on here. All these tracks were logged within the last 1 to 2 years. Definitely not clear cut. You can see there's big trees remaining. There's big trees up here down by the river. We'll do a drone video as well so you can see everything. But they look pretty good. Now all the tracks out here have access to electric. This one is kind of the top of the heap on that, in that not only does it have electric directly on it, it also has a meter with, I believe, an RV plug-in. So I mean, this one's good to go. There are restrictions in place on these tracks. You can look at those on the page. So you can't live in a portable building. When I got back in the truck, one of my books on tape started automatically, and it cut off my video. So I just backed up, and we're headed for the gate. Just looked at the property on the east side on Marigold Drive. Here's the power line crossing over Marigold. So this looks like an access easement. That's actually just power going into the property. That's all that is. And we go up about another 200 feet, and we will see the driveway and the gate on the left side. So we'll pull on through here. If you're coming out here, just let us know. We'll be happy to give you the code for that gate. And now this conveniently located easement road will take us down toward the west side of the property in the big open meadow, which is where we'll find the actual power meter and meter base and all that. I don't know if it was on the video before it got cut off, but I was just saying that these tracts do have property covenants in place to protect your investment. So look at the listing page to see them all in full. Can't camp permanently, you can't have a portable building on the property, you can't leave an RV or camper out here for more than 45 days. You can camp for up to 45 days in a 12-month period, all that good stuff. And it's all just designed to kind of keep this place looking good. So we can tell you firsthand what happens when you don't have those restrictions. A place that starts out nice after a year or two is less nice. So we're going to keep this nice and protect your investment out here. Look at the covenants to make sure they work for you. If they don't, or if you're afraid they may not, let us know and we'll find you something different. Okay, I'm going to turn my iPad back on. Like I said, this MapRight app is great for when you come out to the property. You got to get the app, which is a free app, and then we'll email you the link to this map for the specific tract. Okay. The guys are out here working, so if you're coming out here in the near future, feel free to say hi to them. They're all very nice. Getting some gravel on these easement roads and getting in a few culverts and some other odds and ends. So we're down here at the base of the hill. That's the beautiful open meadow there. Road goes left and right. We're going to go left. And we're almost back to this western side of the property. There are some culverts waiting to get put into the ground. So this is another spot right here, which the trail's already in place. They're going to put in some culverts and whatnot. And what that is, as I look on the map here, that's the easement road, which crosses sort of over the middle part of the property. And that's pretty handy because that can give you good access to the middle section. Otherwise, if you continue going straight, this is going to take you to the meadow on the west side of the property. And I believe, oh, we're getting some gravel on this right now. That's good. So there's a survey marker right there. And as we cross in, there's another one going across the field. I mean, this is well marked out here. So as we cross over into this, now we're on, back on the property, on that meadow on the western side. So you can see that is beautiful. Looking at those sycamore trees, and then from there the river behind those. So everything you see on both sides actually right now is the property. We're coming up on the power meter. And I'm going to pull right in there. Okay. So there you can see another survey marker. I mean, these are pretty well marked. So if we start here and we're looking that direction, there's another stake, and they'll be marked basically right down to the river. So the pole itself is physically on the property. So if you're coming down here to camp or hang out or whatnot, be aware of the setbacks. The power meter and whatnot is just right off the road. As far as having your RV or camper, and certainly when you build, you've got to be aware of those setbacks, because you do have to be back far enough. I mean, this has already got a meter in place. I don't know what it would take to really... Oops. A couple RV plug-ins. I am not an electrician, so I don't know what this needs. But there's a meter. Try to focus on that, and then if you call the power company, perhaps they'll ask for that number. Oh, try and get that open. Whoops, there we go. Okay, so all kinds of breakers. And this looks like a box for breakers that doesn't have breakers in it. And I'll cover those back up before I leave, but that's going to take two hands. You can hear the guys working off in the bottom there, getting some gravel for the roads. But this is gorgeous. I mean, this is awesome. As we look across here, there's that little valley area, kind of a wet weather creek. one of the numerous wet weather creeks that feeds the Niangua River. Wow, that's deep. It's actually really pretty. I've never looked at this. You know, as long as we're here. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. Kind of a rock overhang. And it's actually flowing a tiny bit, which is interesting. This is really pretty though. Some rock ledges up there. You just never know what you're going to find on these larger tracts. But that goes on down for a couple hundred feet and feeds right into the Niangua River. And if we were to go across to the other side and walk a little ways, we'd find that other easement road that brings you more toward the center of the property. So I thought that was an arrowhead. We found a pretty good arrowhead out here the other day, so I mean they are definitely out here. So yeah, this one's good to go as far as the power meter. I mean, I'm sure you'd have to call the power company and you know, get whatever they need you to get to them. Oops. This is a spectacular section of river, if I haven't already mentioned that 15 times. I'm really not sure if I'm going to walk down there or you might just take the drone over and have a look at it, and you're free to explore it all yourself. It's usually quite peaceful here, but the guys are using the track loader to fill that dump truck right now. That's what you hear squeaking off in the distance. I can see the water, so maybe we'll just walk on over there. Why not? So feel free to bring a weed whacker or a little chainsaw. I mean, if you cut a little trail right to the river, that would improve this quite a bit, I think. Because you've got that nice open field right there, which is very close to the river. And if you had a walking trail or a four-wheeler trail or a driving trail, I mean, it is excellent, this section of water. And this has a lot of frontage as well, a lot of frontage. There we go. Oh, that is super pretty. It's pretty early in the summertime here, so we don't see anybody out on the river this morning, but within a few weeks this will get quite a few people out here. There's a few resorts right down around the corner. Oh, there's a bunch of turtles on that log. There they go. But see, directly across from us is the Barclay Conservation Area. So other than the screeching track loader off in the distance, it's really peaceful down here. This is generally a really clear section of river. This, if you haven't already checked into it, this is the White Ribbon Trout Fishing section of water, which is pretty awesome. Beautiful, beautiful section of water. So you can fish for rainbow trout and brown trout right here at the property, as well as bass and catfish and all the normal fun stuff. Very, very hard to find anything on the White Ribbon trout section. Extremely hard, let alone a tract this big with this kind of frontage. So if you've been looking for an investment that you can actually use, create some memories with your family, this would be really tough to beat. Most people I know that buy a riverfront tract like this, they come on out, they spend a few weekends or whatnot, and they'll create a trail to the water, create some nice sites, put in some kind of picnic area on the beach. It's just, you can have a ton of fun here and improve the value at the same time. So pretty great situation. So take a look at all the maps. Take a look at the website first of all, InstantAcres.com, to see if the property's available. If it is, then you'll see it on the website. Feel free to give us a call in the office or just send us an email at sales@instantacres.com. Multiple places here to put a canoe or a raft into the water. This is really good access. Gravel shoreline as well for the most part. Gravel and sand. Yeah, InstantAcres.com. There's the Barclay Conservation Area. So you've got hundreds of acres of public land at your disposal as well as I think a couple miles of riverfront in that conservation area that you've got access to. Stunning property. InstantAcres.com. So we're actually parked just up from the property. I'm looking down toward the property and the open meadow area. This is one of the easement roads. And then Cody's dumped some dirt on another one, and you can see the culverts right here. This is the other easement that kind of goes over the middle of the property, gives you access to that. And one of those culverts, I'm pretty sure, is gonna go right here. So what I thought I would do, as long as I'm here, is park the truck there, and we'll just walk. And I've got my little MapRite app in hand, and as soon as we get to the property, we'll be able to see that fresh deer prints in that tiny spring area. So like I said, this is what will give you access more toward the middle of the property without having to cross that ravine area, which is between the two roads. So kind of handy. Okay, I've got to see where we are here, get everything situated. So looking at this map, so there's this survey stake right there. We've just crossed onto the property. So you can see there's actually a trail that goes up toward the east. Now that is not a road easement. That is just one of the multiple trails you'll find that probably meanders across the property. But this roadway right now, this is one of the surveyed road easements. So as we walk this way, the property's on both sides of us. Some pretty nice timber, a few cedars, and a lot of hardwood trees. I see some larger hardwoods over there. So if you wanted to build somewhere that was kind of away from the meadow and get tucked back in the timber, this would give you an option for that. Obviously we do have setbacks from the easement roads, so that's something to be aware of when you're choosing your building site. But I mean, you have a lot of room to play with on this. We're kind of walking right into the sun, so I know things look a little dark, but good chance to see this portion of the property. Quite a few trees, larger trees. Very private, very peaceful. You'll find all kinds of deer and turkey and whatnot. I'm not sure about the actual width of the property on this end. We'll have to look at the survey maps to see that, or the MapRite. It does have a measurement feature, which is pretty close. But I'd say we're getting probably toward the other property line by now. So anyway, that was just like I said, a quick overview. I was out here and wanted to to give everybody a look at that. So that is one of the road easements that crosses over the property. Helps give you access toward the middle part without having to do a potentially expensive driveway or whatnot. You've already got road access, and this will be smooth, and this will have gravel on it. It's always going to be kind of a primitive roadway, so truck or SUV access on this. There's a pretty spot right there on the property. It is beautiful out here.